songs, let me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
So it was very free. It was very much, if you have a good idea, try to run with it. I was very blessed. I had really good bosses and they supported every crazy idea we had. For sure, something that not many people understand. Like even my parents, when I tell them this is what I do, like I'm gonna pursue it as a career, I think I'm gonna stay here, they're like, and what again do you do? Like I know every conversation, every holiday, it's always the same.
All right, we are live again. This is Craig LeBlanc with the Daily Parks and Rec Show. This is the Young Professionals Network, Thursdays, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We wanted to create a space for young professionals as they come into the industry because, as everyone knows that's been in Parks and Recreation, it's really like drinking from a fire hose, trying to get all the stuff and skills that you need to develop in this industry to do well and to kind of ascend and climb the ladder up into potentially being a director one day. And so there's so many things that you have to get good at, so many people to connect with. And so I think it's almost been like 10 years. Somebody with NRPA decided to start something called the Young Professionals Network. And a big shout out to Gaby Vera and Molly Keys. They introduced me to the Young Professionals Network early on in our journey to create a media company for the Parks and Rec industry. And so not long after that, we decided that every day, once a week, we were going to find some space for them to just communicate and show what's going on. And we've discovered so much about the Young Professionals Network, one of which is probably about half the states have already started their local chapter, that many of them are on their second, third, and fourth year. So anyway, got a lot of good stuff happening on with the Young Professionals Network. And when I say young professionals, I'm not just talking about like the college kids. We're also talking about people that are new to the industry, first 1 to 5 years, or I think the rule of thumb is under 30-ish, But then also if you're a professor that's teaching, or if you have an internship program that you think is thriving and have some good interns, perhaps you and the director and your intern can come on the show. And actually Molly Keys did that with us when she had her intern. So a lot of different ways we can take this and serve the Young Professionals Network. And we have a very special guest today, Gaby, all the way from Layton, Utah. And y'all are just going to love her. I just know it. And she's also from Venezuela. And I have a very, very close friend that's from Venezuela. And I love all those Venezuelans out there. And I feel like I'm part of a Venezuelan family because every time they come in and they invite me to everything. So I love it. All right. So before we get started, we're going to play our 500th episode promo that was recently released last Thursday. I can't believe it's already been a week, where we crossed the 500 episode boundary, I guess you could call it. Really couldn't have done that without the love and support of all the Parks and Rec community that's come on the show. And big shout out to all of the show hosts that are working each week to produce some type of content for the Parks and Rec industry. And a special shout out to everybody on the DPRS media team. Thank you, Jovi, Chris, Kathleen, Eunice, Sherry, Suzanne, Randy, list goes on and on. But without their help and working week after week, we wouldn't have gotten this far, and we still got a long way to go. So please keep supporting us. Please keep liking and sharing. And let's go ahead and play this promo. And then we'll come back. We'll start our conversation with Gaby.
It didn't start with a big studio. It didn't start with a massive audience. It started with a simple idea. One conversation, one camera, one episode. Back then, DPRS Media Network was just a vision. No guarantees, no roadmap, just a purpose. to tell stories that mattered, stories from the Parks and Recreation community, stories of leadership, passion, impact, and the people making a difference every single day. Episode by episode, that vision began to grow. More conversations, more voices, more people who believed in what we were building. What started as a show became something much bigger. A place where people felt seen, a place where ideas were shared, a place where the Parks and Rec community could connect, learn, and inspire one another. And today, we celebrate a major milestone. 500 episodes, 500 stories, 500 moments, 500 reasons to keep moving forward. But this is not the finish line. This is the beginning of our next chapter. In the months ahead and in the years to come, DPRS Media Network is growing into something even greater. We are building something truly special for the Parks and Recreation community. Something designed to bring people closer, to create stronger connections, to open new opportunities, and to continue serving the people who inspire everything we do. We are also expanding our reach through new partnerships, working with organizations who believe in our mission, partners who share our vision for community, leadership, and impact. And beyond the screen, we're showing up in more places than ever before, attending conferences, meeting leaders face-to-face, building connections that strengthen our community. Because DPRS has never been just about content. It has always been about connection. To everyone who has been with us, from episode 1 to episode 500, thank you. This milestone belongs to all of you. Here's to how it all started. And here's to everything still to come. The future of DPRS Media Network starts now.
All right. So welcome to the show, Gabby. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
Exciting.
so glad you're here. All right. So tell us a little bit about your backstory. Or maybe who were you as a little girl? Like, what were you in grade school and high school? And were you involved at an early age in Parks and Rec?
Actually, no. So like you said, I'm from Venezuela. That's like not a thing in Venezuela. We do not have parks and recreation. Of course, we have like state sports, but it's not like Parks and Rec per se
Mhm.
like it is here. So I really didn't even know what that was till I moved here. And I didn't move to the States until 2016 when I came here for college. So growing up, I always liked the outdoors. I like hikes, I like water. I played a lot of sports, mainly tennis. And that's kind of what I did my whole life. Then when I moved here for college, I went to school for like business and then public administration, nothing to do with parks and recreation.
Uh-huh.
And when I decided to like start looking for jobs, right? The one job that would actually hire me was in Victoria, Texas, Parks and Recreation.
No way.
I was like, well, like I'm gonna try this out. Let's see what this is. So I like to think about it like Parks and Rec chose me, like I chose Parks and Rec. And
Yeah.
so far it's going really good. I really like it.
Yeah. And that's such a common story inside of Parks and Rec that, well, I know you're kind of from Venezuela, but it's the same story here in America that so many people maybe even swim and are like, what do they call the camp counselors, or
Mhm.
they cut grass for the summer,
Mhm.
and they never really think about that Parks and Rec is actually a great career path for you on.
For sure. It's for sure something that not many people understand. Like even my parents, when I tell them this is what I do, like I'm gonna pursue it as a career. I think I'm gonna stay here. They're like, and what again do you do? I'm like, I know. Every conversation, every holiday, it's always the same.
Yeah. So what was that first year like in Parks and Recreation? You said at Victoria, or what was that?
Yes, in Victoria, Texas. It was honestly awesome. It's a small community,
Uh-huh.
and I like that it was very just go for it. they didn't have a very established program. No, when it came to youth sports or adult sports, even the events, like they had some signature events, but it wasn't anything that they wanted, just like a to-do list. It wasn't like that. So it was very free. It was very much, if you have a good idea, try to run with it. I was very blessed. I had really good bosses, and they supported every crazy idea we had. So that was really fun. I had a great team. It was me, like one other boy, and it was really, really fun. We just had a lot of fun.
And how long were you there for?
I was there for 2 years, almost 3.
Oh, and so what were some of the projects that they had you work on?
Over there, actually, I have like hilarious stories about all of this.
Oh, I want to hear it.
Summer camp, and I ran like the tennis summer camps for my college. And so I like summer camps. I knew I liked that. I always liked kids and did things involving that, but never like a summer camp per se. And I tell my boss, Kimberly, and I'm like, I really want to do a summer camp. And she's like, just go for it. Let's do it. We did not think we were going to have this many kids. So it's like 80 kids, just 2 of us running this whole summer camp. We had no training. We had no idea what we were doing. We had a huge park, and we were like, we're just going to go for this, and it's going to be great. And if you're familiar with Victoria, they have like a river going through their main park, and that's where our offices were. So that worked out really great. So every day we will go to the river, we'll swim, we'll play some games. We did like a twist on like survival outdoors kind of thing. So we taught the kids how to build a fire, how to set camp. Because again, like in Texas, like, yes, people camp and there are public land, but it's not as common as like where I'm at Utah now. Like everyone here knows how to do those things.
Right.
Texas is not as common. So people really liked it. And part of like the struggle was the budget. Like we didn't know what to do, right? Like we never had this before. It was very inexpensive because we wanted to get like everyone we could. And we actually partnered with the school district, and they brought breakfast, snacks, lunch, everything for free. We found a lot of sponsors that helped us just provide this camp, and that was really, really cool. That was like the highlight of Victoria for sure.
And so what was the age group of kids you were working with?
We did between 8 and 12.
Oh my gosh, you had 88 to 12-year-olds. When did they show up? How long did you have them all day?
They were there from 7:30 a.m. to about 5:30 p.m.
Oh my goodness.
It was a full day.
And it was always just the 2 of y'all that had to kind of manage those 80 kids?
Yeah, I actually had my little sister. She was in college, and I was like, "When did you have to come here and like volunteer?" So she volunteered for a couple of weeks, helped us out. But that was pretty much it. It was me and Elisha just going for it.
Yeah. So what was it like, I guess, running that for the first time? Are there any, or maybe what difference did you see in the kids? Because it's probably your first time working with a big group of kids, like that kind of stuff, summer camp.
Yeah, it was honestly like, I feel like you just had to like pick like the one you knew was the leader, you know, and make sure he would listen. Because if he did, everyone else did. Right. So we had a really good group of kids. A couple didn't like the bugs and the typical stuff. And like Texas is really, really hot. Right. We had a lot of bugs during that season. A couple days it rained really, really bad. Our park got flooded a couple times. And the parents would say like, I cannot miss work. Like, you have to keep the kids. And we just, okay, we figured it out. So it was really fun. Yeah. For sure. A lot of lessons learned.
And what kind of impact do you think you had on the kids?
Oh my gosh, they loved them. As in today, I think actually like last week I talked to 2 of the moms that we had in that summer camp, and they're still like, I wish you were still here, because apparently like they stopped doing it once I left, and that's really sad because we did it for 2 years and that was really fun. But they had a change in leadership and they changed the team, so I don't think they had like the bandwidth to do the camp, because honestly it was like a lot of work. Right. But the kids apparently loved it. They always wanted to go back, and we did like a kayak clinic inside the summer camp, and they did keep doing that. And we had a couple kids that actually got into like the same sports we played in the camp. So I always liked it. That's good. Right.
Yeah, it really is. It's great to see how much of a difference you can make in a kid's life, especially when they kind of have no place to go during the summer. You kind of give them a home, and I imagine they made friendships that still probably last to this day.
For sure. And that was like the main thing to me. Like I've always like just care about like the impact, right? Like it's fun to have a good event, but like how did you impact the people that came, right? So seeing like we had like little girls that were like, yeah, like I don't do anything at home. Like my parents would work all day. I'm always alone. And they had a place to go, like you said, like the friendships, actual activities, and they were discovering like their skills they had. Like some of them were really good at crocheting and they had like no idea because they never done it before. So
Right.
things like that were really fun to see.
Yeah. All right. So then by then you were probably hooked. So, did you probably not intended to do this as a full career path, but that probably sold you on it, huh?
Literally, like I had no idea what I was gonna do. It's like I like this job, like why not? It's fun. Anyone that knows Kimberly knows she's awesome, so I love working for her. And I just stayed at that job, right? And then I was like, well, like I mean, it's been almost 3 years. What should I do? And Kimberly had just moved here to Utah, and I called her and I'm like, I don't know what I should do. What do you think? Like, she was like, I might have a job here. Do you want to come? And I was like, why not? Next thing I know, it's been 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And I'm in Parks and Rec.
And so Kimberly basically moved to Utah and she was like, I want you to come with me.
Basically.
Oh, fantastic. Now, what part of Utah are you in?
In Layton, it's northern Utah, about like 15-20 minutes from Salt Lake.
Yeah. Y'all have the most beautiful state. I have a friend of mine, actually 2 close friends of mine live in, I think it's called Heber.
Here, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just stunning, just the landscape and the mountains, and it's gorgeous.
It's beautiful. Like once I moved here, everyone's like, oh, like, what do you think? What do you recommend? I'm like, I feel like I could go to a different place each day, and it's like one is prettier than the other. The next hike is better than the last one.
Yeah.
There's always something new to see. Like you take a different road and you're like, oh, look at everything that's here. Like I feel like it would take a lifetime to explore all of it. Like I'm trying, but it's really fun. It's really good.
Yeah. So what's your favorite park so far in Utah?
My favorite park?
Yeah. Well, like, cause I think we went to, is it Arches and Moab?
Arches, yes. I have not been to Arches. Can you believe that?
Oh my gosh. That's like
this summer I'm going to, okay?
Oh, you're going to love it.
It's like 4 hours away from me. Like it's really southern Utah, so I haven't been. But I love Zion. Actually, for our state conference this year, like on Mondays, like how like normally same on NRPA, you do like a workshop kind of thing.
Right.
We did a canyoneering excursion.
No way.
And I was like, that's what I'm signing up for sure. And it was in Zion and it was so fun. Like rappelling, that was my first time doing it. And I got to do it with like some friends from the Leadership Academy, which I love that we do that. Because I know not every state does it. I think NRPA does it. But I was just really happy to be part of it. So that was really fun. That's my favorite part.
Tell us a little bit more about the Leadership Academy. What is that?
So I'm not sure how it works in other states, but here in Utah, they choose about between 9 and 12 young professionals, right? And they take us each month to a different city and we learn things, we explore their facilities, we have their directors talk to us about a specific topic, things like that. We read books and then we have to like discuss them, things like that. We do some like, not necessarily like a test, but like we have to present. We do like mock presentations again in front of council, things like that. It's really, really fun. It was honestly like one of the best experiences ever. Like I tell everyone I know here that they have to do it. Because more like I'm new to Utah, so it was like for the networking parts, I get to meet new people. I get to see how they do things. Like it's different in every state. So having that chance to like immerse myself in their culture, in how they approach their issues, in like the thought process they have behind everything they do was really interesting to me.
Yeah. And how many people are kind of involved in that each? Is it something you do for just 1 year or you can kind of stay in it?
So you do it a whole year and we have like, I think it's like 9 leaders and there's like directors or like assistant directors, things like that. And they are like, they also like mentor you. And I'm one of those that signs up every single year for all the mentorship programs I can. So I really enjoy that. They do 1 year and you can only do it once. And it's pretty competitive. Like I think like last year we had like more than like 60 people try to get in and only 11 get in. So
oh wow.
Yeah, it's really good. I really like that.
Well, congratulations on getting in.
Thank you.
You're gonna have to come back and teach it one day.
I wish. I would love that.
And so, okay, so now you're in Utah for the first time. What was that kind of first job that you did there in Utah?
I feel like it was like a big shock to realize, like, again, like coming from Victoria, a place that it was very much like, go for it, let's do this, let's do that, you have an idea, run with it. And
Right.
coming here, they have been like, they're like so organized and they were so established. Like I showed up and they're like, this is like a list, like follow your list. It's basically a to-do thing. And I'm
Right.
like, okay, well, I can do that, you know?
Yeah.
So they had like their signatures event. We have an event, a big event, like every single month except for April.
Mhm.
And that was way different than in Victoria. In Victoria, I focused a little more on like community programming. We did like small things like the park's birthday or like a movie at the park. And here is very much park after dark. And next thing you know, there's 600 people. So like it was a big difference for me, like a lot to learn. But it was really fun. Like I like it a lot. I mean, my events, I think our biggest event is like 30,000 people, which is
Oh,
crazy
wow.
to me. Yeah. But really good. I had never had like a 5K, and we
Mhm.
do one here, pretty popular. So it's good.
Yeah. All right. So you kind of know how to run a 5K, or what did you learn about putting on a 5K as a city?
I didn't realize the kids' bibs did not have to be chipped.
Ah,
That's something I didn't know. I was like, why wouldn't the kids want to know? But apparently, you don't have to chip the kids' bibs. The kids were really happy to know, but
yeah.
no. And I changed the race company we had, so now it was like a very like not very serious people that were doing it,
Mhm.
and now we have like a real one with like an arch, and they actually put out the results. Before they didn't have that, so that was
Yeah.
fun, you know. Add a little bit to it every year.
Yeah. And how many people did you have run the race?
I think we had about like 5,000.
Oh my gosh, that's a big
Pretty good.
event.
I mean, the event, this is the 4th of July event. This is a 30,000 people event.
Wow.
And I'm hoping this year is way bigger because we'll have the America 250. So
Mhm.
we're like really focusing on that, you
Yeah.
know?
Now, I guess when you first got into this, you're leaving college, and now that you're in Parks and Rec, maybe bring me through the skill acquisition journey that you had. You know, what skills did you see? Okay, I really got to work on my communication, or I really got to work on programming, or what have you kind of learned through this so far?
I think the main thing that I had to understand was more like putting myself in like people's position, because I think I'm okay at communicating. Like customer service was never really an issue for me. Like I think I can try to understand people, you know, but getting the on the event and programming side, more like what do people want to see, not necessarily what I think would be the funnest and coolest thing to do, right?
Mhm.
So like trying to learn their population, doing a little more research on what they like, what are like the most like popular spots, what parks are more used, like the graphics of the situation, the population. I think that was like a big lesson I had to learn at first,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It
Now,
was
how do y'all
making it fun.
right. Now, how do y'all get the word out for y'all special events and stuff like that? Is it mostly through Facebook, or how do y'all let the
Yeah.
community know what goes on?
We right now we only do Facebook and Instagram. We do have like a newsletter we only send with like their water bill. We're
Mhm.
trying to move into like a online newsletter that you can just like send through like our emails, you know, like a lot of organizations do it. We're not there yet,
Yeah.
but I mean, somehow people just like it. And like I'm telling you, they're so established. People just know these events happen the second week of like October. They just know. Every second week of October, we're having a Halloween event. They don't even have to see it. They just show up at the park,
Right, right.
which is like pros and cons, right? Like I'm really happy. People just assume we have in the event and they will always support us. But it's also like there's not much room for change. Like whatever you want to change, you will always have pushback.
Yeah. Now, at least from what I've seen, Utah is a very outdoorsy kind of culture. What are you seeing so far as the difference between like the Texas Parks and Rec culture and then like how Utah takes Parks and Rec?
I think in Texas, the people were a little more like chill, you know, like they were just happy we were having an event. They were just happy we were providing something. And I think here they do have higher expectations. Again, it could be because it's been established, because they already are tied, they already understand, they already do these things. We had here in Utah, we had a trailhead grand opening. Basically, I mean the trail has been there, but we did a new trailhead, right? We had new bathrooms, we had a pavilion, we had all these things, and people had like very high expectations. They wanted pins with the trailhead. They wanted like food. They wanted drinks. The mayor was there, and I was like, oh, like that is like for sure different, you know. Like before, we could have just been like, oh, free hot dogs, and people would have been happy. But here, they were like, no, we want it this way, and it's nice. And when it comes to the outdoor part, like I said, like we had an outdoor survival camp, and people were all over that in Texas. And I feel like if we had it here, they would like not care, because they go camping all the time. There's plenty of spots, there's plenty of places. Everyone here knows about that stuff.
Yeah. Now, have you, I can't remember, did you say you had a chance to attend y'all's state convention there, or just the one in
Yes, I've gone 3 times now.
Oh, wow. And so
I love it.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So we do it in St. George, and that is, I think it's close to Arches. I think it's, I mean, it's not close, but it's like both south. I think it's like 3 hours away, but it's really cool. We do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it's about the same as NRPA. But what is really interesting is a lot of our activities are like that, like very outdoorsy. Like we go canyoneering. There's not like a stadium visit. It's like, okay, canyoneering, dirt bikes. You're gonna run like the RC cars, things like that. So that's really cool. Like it's new to me to do those things. So I always try to do something different there.
Yeah. Okay, so I would like to get your feedback, because I don't know if you remember how Parks and Rec was affected by COVID, but a lot of Parks and Rec departments across the country were like shut down. They were completely closed. And Jovi, you can kind of cue that video up on the essential services. And so one of the things that a lot of Parks and Rec professionals, Parks and Rec was considered not only non-essential, but a lot of them got defunded and had to lay off staff and stuff like that. But then the community came out and said, wait a minute, we love our parks. We want them back up. And so we were actually asked to create something that kind of drove that point home. And so I'd love to play this little video for you, and then we'll get your feedback from it and see how we did. So Jovi, why don't you go ahead and play that, and then we'll come right back.
When we talk about essential services, what comes to mind? Police, firefighters, healthcare. But there's another essential service, often overlooked, yet always present: parks and recreation. Parks and Rec is health. It's the walking trail that lowers blood pressure, the recreation center where seniors fight isolation, the swim lessons that prevent tragedy before it happens. This isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. Parks and Rec is safety. A playground instead of a street corner, a basketball court instead of trouble, a summer camp where every child belongs. It's not just about activity, it's about protection, prevention, and possibility. Parks and Rec is community, the festival that brings neighbors together, the cultural event that teaches respect and diversity, the open space where a city breathes. It builds bridges where division once stood. It gives people a reason to gather, to connect, to care. And Parks and Rec is economics. It strengthens property values. It drives tourism through events and trails. It saves on healthcare costs. Every dollar invested multiplies, feeding back into schools, into safety, into growth. Essential service is not just about survival, it's about thriving. And Parks and Recreation is where thriving begins. In wellness, in equity, in culture, and in joy. Parks and Rec isn't extra, it's essential. For our health, for our safety, for our communities, for our future. A message from the Parks and Recreation community.
There you go. What do you think?
That's really cool. And I mean, honestly, like, I feel like it was one of those things that people didn't realize they considered essential till they lost it, you know?
Right. I'd like you to kind of compare, because I actually have a lot of friends that live overseas. And when I talk about Parks and Recreation, they're like, like you said, in Venezuela, what is that? We don't really have that in our country.
Right.
So maybe you can see like the difference it's making in your community that you're working in versus what you had kind of back home, and how, you know, this would be beneficial for really any city.
Yeah, I think it for sure like brings community together, right? Like being from Venezuela, like I'm Latin, like we're already very close knit. So I think that's part of why we don't do it, because I don't think people see the need to go out of your home and connect with other people, because we for sure connect with other people all the time.
Right.
I do think, at least on the sports side of things, it will be very, very beneficial. Playing tennis, it was honestly really hard. The barrier of entry for most sports is huge, right? Like if you, like we don't have, the state does not provide the opportunity. So if you don't have a lot of money to pay to a private entity to train with them, to have the access to those facilities, it kind of makes it hard. Yes, you have the state ones sometimes, but because there's not like an organization that runs it, and it's just the state itself, is not always the best. And if you know politics in Venezuela, like obviously our state was not being ran very well.
Right.
So we didn't have a lot of those opportunities, you know, like many times, like I remember being young and having like a super talented kid, and they just simply did not have the resources to travel, to go to these tournaments that were going to open doors for them, right? And we will all, like the parents, the kids, we will do like raffles, like we'll figure out ways to like help them pay for these things. And I feel like if we would have had an organization like Parks and Recreation, they would have the opportunity for like a lower cost to have better coaches, to have the introduction to those sports. Like many people didn't even get to even try to play these sports, because through the high schools, we don't, like, I don't know if this is like common sense, but like in many other countries, we don't do sports through high schools. Like you finish your school and you go home, and if you choose to do sports, that's on you. Like, yeah, we have PE, but we don't have like your volleyball team, your baseball team. That's like not very common. So if you wanted to do a sport, you had to do it on your own. And I think an organization like Parks and Rec would have really, really helped for everyone to have the chance and the opportunity to, apart from creating that sense of belonging, having a place to go, an opportunity, something to do. And we just didn't have that. So if your parents were not looking out for you, and I mean, many people had like parents that work all the time. So even if your parents wanted to, maybe the opportunity wasn't there. So I think it would have been very, very beneficial for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so we blew past the halfway point, but when we come back, I want to talk about just NRPA. And have you been involved with YPN at all? Okay, so we're going to talk a lot about that.
A little bit.
And then I also want you to maybe think about, what is your why you continue to dedicate your life to Parks and Recreation. What does it mean to you? What kind of impact you're having? So we'll talk about that when you get back. Okay, so first, before we go, I'd like to give a big shout out to Outdoor Link. Outdoor Link is one of our earliest sponsors that really helps us to build this channel, along with many other sponsors. But if you have these, some of you have these smart homes that everything can be controlled from your cell phone. And so this has been around for a while, but did you know that cities are starting to become smart cities? And Outdoor Link is kind of leading the charge, helping to help cities become smart cities where they can control their infrastructure and their splash pads and their bathroom door locks and their baseball field lights and stuff. And so great team over there. And they also help us produce our technology show on Mondays. And so, and if you'd like to get in touch with them, just reach out to me. I'll get in touch with Dave and Tasha and the team. They're really all over the country. So you'll see them just about at every state convention. And then we're also going to play our old YPN promo that our interns made. Michael and Tyranny made that one with the help of Jovi. And so we'll play those two, and then we'll come right back and finish up our conversation with Gaby.
In today's parks and recreation industry, communication, safety, and efficiency go hand in hand. That's where Outdoor Link comes in, delivering smart technology that empowers city departments and community planners to do more, smarter. Outdoor Link's platform connects and automates everything that keeps your parks running smoothly, from lighting and locks to signage, water features, Wi-Fi, and digital advertising. Control and schedule park lights for safety and energy savings. Remotely manage facility access. Coordinate fountains and splash pads. Provide public connectivity. All from one simple, unified platform, giving you real-time control, data, and cost efficiency. For parks and recreation agencies, that means safer spaces, smarter resource use, faster responses, and stronger community engagement. And behind every great park story is great infrastructure. That's why Outdoor Link proudly supports DPRS Media Company, helping the Daily Parks and Rec Show amplify the voices of professionals shaping our communities every day. Outdoor Link, smart, connected solutions for parks, recreation, and beyond.
On the Daily Parks and Rec Show, we bring you the real stories of tomorrow's professionals, people shaping the future, one idea at a time. Meet the very first DPRS interns to officially host their own segment, Aiden Tierney and Michael Morrow. With curiosity, passion, and a fresh perspective, they're stepping into the spotlight to lead meaningful conversations with today's rising leaders. The Young Professionals Network takes you inside the journeys, challenges, and major wins of young individuals making their mark across industries. From first jobs to bold ventures, every story fuels growth, ambition, and innovation. Each episode brings real conversations, fresh perspectives, and impactful insights created to motivate the next generation of professionals. Whether you're just starting out, exploring new paths, or figuring out your next move. Tune in to the Young Professionals Network every Thursday at 5 p.m. only on the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Don't miss it, because your next big idea might be one story away.
All right, so let's start off with talking about YPN. How did you discover that, and when did you join, and what has that been like?
So through Kimberly, like Molly, Gaby Vera, all of them are really good friends with Kimberly. So she's awesome. So she for sure just got me in it. She's like, you're doing this, you're gonna love it. And it's one of the best things ever. Like, as someone that like didn't know many people, my organization didn't have many people my age. And even if they were my age, not everyone got to go to NRPA. So having that YPN group, it kind of gives you like a group already of people that you can get to know. It's something for you to do, people that will stay with you as well, like through conference. So that's nice. A lot of good resources as well.
Yeah. And so what did that first year look like? Were you able to attend some of those online meetings? And then after that, we can discuss what y'all did at the annual event.
Yeah. So the online meetings, I made a couple the first year, and I was honestly like a little nervous because, you know, it's like, oh, like talk about it. And you always feel like, oh, like, why would I talk? Like, I don't know anything. And then you realize it's like, no, like we're all in the same boat. Like all of us are young professionals. Like you get to share your story, your experiences, and you get to hear other ones as well. And then you realize like what you do matters. Your voice is being heard, like your comments, your opinions, your ideas are like also good, even though we're starting in our career, even though I cannot say I have 10 years of experience on this or I've managed these many people, but all of that like really does matter. And having that group, yeah, it helps a little bit with like that, like imposter syndrome a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like it makes you feel like, okay, like I'm not crazy. Like I don't have to like know everything to feel like I can speak up about some issues.
Yeah. Yeah. Big shout out to Molly Keys and Gaby Vera. They're the reason we have the YPN show.
Really? They're awesome.
Yeah. They're the ones that kind of got me onto it. They were some of my first guests, and then they came back and brought their interns and stuff like that. And so they did a great job last year running that program. All right. So what's it like at the actual annual event for NRPA? What does YPN do during that period?
Well, we have obviously our social, like, I don't know who's the president now, but the last time when I was there, Molly did everything and she's awesome, as you know. And we have our social. She always makes everyone feel welcome. We do have like a couple, like you get to share some things. Like it's not just fun. It's also like you learn some things. but I always look forward just like seeing them again, you know, like everyone's spread around the country. So seeing them every year, it's fun. You get to share with people you haven't seen. And
Right.
you get to talk to them. You get to like gossip a little bit. What happened during the year? So it's always fun.
Yeah, and it's crazy how some people are just in an entry level position, they're kind of working with programming, all the way up to some of the young professionals are actually directors already of their city, you know, little smaller cities and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what Molly Keys was.
Yeah, it's honestly like crazy to like do that, right? To like look up to them, and it's like, wow, like you're really doing all these things already. Like, you know, it makes you feel like I could do it too. Like that's really cool. And also they offer really good opportunities.
Yeah.
Like I think they help you go to conference. They will give you resources to kind of explain to your organization why you should go to conference, because not all organizations are just gonna like send people, but
Yeah.
I appreciate
Now,
that.
are there any mentors you kind of met along the way or got connected with?
Yes. Shout out to Miss Debbie and Teresa. I absolutely love them. To this day, I still talk to them. Miss Debbie, she's in Virginia. And I think she was like my first mentor through ARPA.
Yeah.
And she stuck with me while I changed from Victoria to Utah. So she really, really helped me out. I think she thinks I'm crazy, but she's awesome. And my sisters, they live in Virginia. And when I went to see my middle sister for her graduation, I met with Miss Debbie, and she's always awesome. And Teresa, she is in Dallas. I don't remember exactly where, but she's in Dallas, maybe Fort Worth, somewhere there. And she's also awesome. Like, I love them.
And so I'm curious, what do your parents think now that you're kind of really into this and you're in it for a few years? What are their thoughts about it?
They think all I do is have fun. Like, like I don't think they think I actually work, you know, like for example, today, actually this happened today. So for the URPA, our state association, they separated in Northern Utah, Central Utah, Western Utah, and Southern Utah. So I'm part of Northern Utah, right? And every month we get together at a different city and we do some like learning session, and we share lunch, and we do a fun activity. So today my mom is calling me because one of my sisters actually graduating in a couple of weeks, and she's calling me to see what she wants me. Well, I want her to bring for me from Venezuela. And I answer, and she's like, "Are you at work?" And I'm like, "This is what I'm doing today for work. I'm at Brigham City. I'm in the same university. We're playing like the 9 square, like, you know, like on the air." She's like, "This is really what you're doing for work?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know. It is always so fun." And if you can see that swan on the back,
Yeah.
you know, the other day, my parents call again. I'm like, "What's up?" And they're like, "What's that on the back?" And I'm like, "We're having a puppet show. I gotta get them cleaned out. I don't know." So they just think I just have fun all day.
Yeah.
And honestly, I do. I love the job.
Well, Parks and Rec really is kind of like the official fun department for the city, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And if we're not the fun department, we're doing something wrong.
That's right. That's right. You're making sure the city has fun at all ages.
Exactly.
All right. So then you volunteered to be part of the conference program committee for NRPA. So tell me what that is.
Okay. So this is like the committee that like helps choose the sessions that will be presented at conference, right? We actually got in it because Bryce King, he's here in Utah. He works right now from Centerville, and he was the one, he was in it. And through the Leadership Academy, so it's really good networking opportunities.
Right.
Through the Leadership Academy, he was like, "I think you would be really good for it. You should try it out. Like, I'll put in a good word for you." And I applied and I got it. And we just did, like, we've been picking the sessions, and it's really interesting. It's really cool. It's just my first year. So honestly, I kind of like sat on the back and tried to see like the way they were judging the sessions, like why they care about some things, what they really paid attention to. And this year I was just trying to like learn a little more about it. You know, like, again, I don't think I'm like more qualified than anybody else to decide who gets to speak or who doesn't.
Right.
But it was just interesting to see their point of view and what they're really looking for at NRPA. It shows you like how much effort and how much they really care about the educational sessions, for sure.
Yeah. NRPA is such a great resource for all Parks and Rec. professionals, and they've been doing this for, aren't they coming up on like their 80th birthday or
I
something
think
crazy
so.
like
It's like a lot.
yeah. Yeah, that's why when I asked AI what's the largest media company for the industry, I thought maybe we would show up on the bottom of the list and NRPA at the top. And they actually ranked us as like the #1 media company. I'm like, okay, well, just to let everyone know, NRPA does an amazing job and does so much more to create content. They're doing leadership series. They're doing connecting people like Gaby to mentors that can be with them throughout their entire career. And if you haven't been to the NRPA convention, did you go to the one in, was it Orlando, the last one?
I missed Orlando. I had a wedding, but it's fine. I've
You
been to the other ones. I was super sad to miss Orlando, though. I'll be in Philadelphia this year.
Yeah. So you went to Atlanta, the one before?
Yes.
Okay. I was there with with the idea to start this media company.
Really?
I was interviewing all my old Parks and Rec friends, and they were just like super supportive. That was a great convention. Atlanta's a beautiful city.
That was really cool. The aquarium part, that was crazy.
Oh yeah. And a close friend of mine, Justin Cutler, he actually is like head of Parks and Rec in Atlanta. He's one of the big guys up there. And we're actually doing a show with them, the director of Austin and I think Seattle. And we're having a panel about what it's like to run a major city and how it's quite different than running like a smaller one, and
I bet.
then all the politics and everything. So it's going to be a cool show.
I'll for sure be watching that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
And I actually got to go to Atlanta because of the diversity scholarship.
Oh, nice. Well, tell us about that. What's that?
It's through NRPA, and you basically explain what you do to support, advocate, just create diversity opportunities, right, on your community. And because in Victoria, I had a lot of bilingual programs, and they have like a big Hispanic population.
Right.
So it was like a really good chance for me to make those people feel like they belong as well, right? Like everything was in English, but we have a big Hispanic population. That really make no sense. Like we're missing out on like 50% of the population here, right?
Yeah.
So creating those programs really made a difference for them, and obviously did for me. So I applied for a diversity scholarship and I got it, and that's how I got to go that year.
Oh, nice. And
yeah, I was really happy about that.
Yeah. And so, but the one in Philly, you're just going as part of the department there, right?
Part of it, but I got to convince them to let me go because I'm part of the CPC.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the best way. That's where networking comes in. So maybe talk about the importance. So let's say you're talking to a group of new young professionals. How important is networking to their early days?
I think it's like the biggest thing. If you have a cool boss like I do, can really like make them stay with you and introduce you to everybody. Because it's hard, right? Like you don't know anybody. Everyone knows each other, and you feel like you're the only one that doesn't know anybody.
Right.
So it can be intimidating, but if you just have like someone that helps you out, that you are with, and that's why the YPN is so important. That's why having a mentor is so important. That's why I'm part also of like the Hispanic professionals in Parks and Rec. Like all of that is so important. You can have, I think they can also like assign you like a buddy for your conference experience, and that helps a ton, because if you don't know anyone, you get to network with them, and slowly you make your own group and you get to know people. Like I said, like I'm only in the CPC, like we didn't even know that was a thing until Bryce introduced me to it, and I only got into it because I got into the Leadership Academy, and I only got into the Leadership Academy because during my state conference I got out there and I talked to some people, and they were like, you should apply for this, and it's just like the biggest thing. It is more important than how well you do your job.
Yeah. I think I spoke with someone. He was a doctor. I want to say he was out of Texas. And there's actually a Hispanic, I forget the name of their little nonprofit, but it's basically Hispanic speakers in Parks and Rec. And so I spoke with them, I don't know, maybe about 3-4 months ago. And I was like, guys, why don't y'all do a weekly show just for y'all? And I hope y'all do it. So it's kind of slow moving, but aspirationally, I would love to have at least a weekly show just with the Hispanic speakers of Parks and Rec. Because like you said, a lot of these kids, they feel so out of place just because there's a language barrier. And so if you can offer something that, kind of caters to that, it really is a little more welcoming, I think. Right.
And it's like about that, like, right? Like you just want to create that sense of belonging. Like you want everybody to walk in and feel like this was meant for you. Like it's like specifically where you should be right now. And for you to create that environment, you have to meet them where they're at. You cannot expect them to be like, oh, like now I feel in place just because you have a banner in Spanish.
Right.
Like that's not going to be enough, you know?
Right.
So I don't know. I am passionate about that. I really relate with that.
And I love that that's part of the culture of Parks and Rec is inclusion, meaning that if there's some language barrier or financial barrier, or maybe they don't have a ride, so transportation barrier, Parks and Rec really goes out of its way to make sure that everything they offer is accessible to everyone in the community. And that we're not leaving big chunks of the community out, maybe only offering for people that are maybe can afford the programming, but to make it more affordable.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so let's dig a little into your why. So why do you continue to show up every day, every year, calling Parks and Recreation your home?
I love what I do. I love seeing the impact, and like I was saying, like that sense of belonging. I think that's like the main reason I do it.
Mm-hmm.
I know being from here, right? Like I really, really appreciate when people go out of their way to make me feel welcome. Like, yeah, I've been here 10 years. So now it's like not as like, oh, like, thank you for making me feel welcome. Like I already feel like at home a little bit, but I think that's like where it comes from. Like, I know what it feels like to be the one that's not here or the different one, right? Like you feel a little bit out of place. And I think that creating those spaces for people, it's really important to me. So I love doing those like smaller programs that just help you build those relationships. I love my 30,000 people programs. I love my big events, but those don't let you create those small connections, right? Those don't let you create those relationships. So the reason I think I do this is just to create those relationships with the community, to make them feel welcome, to make them feel like where you live, your taxpayer money, your community, like it's here for you. Like look at everything we have to offer. That's already out here for you. All you have to do is take advantage of it.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the best Parks and Rec directors, which I think you're going to make a great Parks and Rec director one day, but the best ones are the ones, and actually Gaby Vera has a great story. She was the little after school care kid that had a single mom, and the after school care people, the professionals and the kids, that was her family. And so, when she's running her department, she's looking at those little children like that was me. And I know how important it was to me. And so I'm going to make sure we have the best programs. It's when you're young and you're a user of the Parks and Rec department in those scenarios, it really drives home how important it is once you become an adult and actually start running the Parks and Rec departments.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so I need you to help me pitch the industry. Imagine you're standing in front of a group of college kids, and kind of like you, they're in business. They don't know what they want to do. They just like picked a degree off of a list. And what would be your testimony to them as to why they should consider Parks and Recreation as a career path?
I think our field is the one that you actually make an impact, an instant impact on your community. Like if you're someone that's looking to change the world, change someone's lives, just actually make a difference in the world. If you think you're good for that, this is the field for you. Like you actually get to touch people's lives. You actually get to talk to the little kids. You get to coach them. Like quite literally, you coach them. Like aftercare, you are there for these kids the whole time. You're truly like also building the future of them.
Oh, I love that. I was talking with somebody earlier this week. They were one of my leadership series interviews. And we were saying when we grew up, we were just looking for like the biggest paycheck, and that's all. And we just assumed our job was going to be miserable. We just had to suck it up, and we were just doing it so we could be the breadwinner, provide for our families and stuff. But your generation is so different. Like they really almost outrank that, saying, no, I want to make a difference. And even if I got to take a little pay cut, or if it takes a little bit longer, making a difference and having an impact is more important to me as far as where I'm going to spend my 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And so where do you think that comes from your generation?
I think it comes from like a little bit of like realizing that most jobs you're going to end up hating and you're going to work forever anyway. So might as well, choose one that you like.
Right.
Like you're going to work for all these years, might as well have fun.
Right.
And we have really good benefits if you work for cities, that's a big one too. Right. And I think like we just like value different things. Like I don't think I mean, I went to school. My bachelor's was international economics and my master's was public administration. So like I wasn't necessarily an engineer looking for a big paycheck, but I mean, I was on the business side, right? Like I was like, I'm going to work somewhere, climb up a ladder, make a lot of money. And then you get into Parks and Rec and you're like, you know what? Like, I just want to make a difference. Like you want to see more than a paycheck. You want to see that what you do truly does matter. Like you're not clocking in, clocking out. You're not just waiting for that paycheck to hit. You're like, you measure your success in a different way.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, like my program grew and these kids loved it and all of them came back. Like now that's success. It's not like, oh, I got a raise. Like anybody can get a raise. And I feel like on today's day and age, you can make money doing whatever you want.
Right.
Like there's so many ways to make money that is not like that big of a deal.
Right.
You know?
Right. To me, it's almost a difference between, would you rather have a closet full of designer Lululemon clothes and hate your job and have this soul crushing experience, or would you rather maybe not be able to afford the greatest closet, but the difference you're making every day in your community? To me, it's a no brainer. I wish I had a lot of that in me when I was your age, kind of growing up, choosing what I was going to do with the rest of my life.
And you're just like happier, you know, like I love it. I have no complaints.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the traditions we have at the end of the show is my previous guest, which was earlier today, left a question for you, and then you'll need to think of a question for the next guest. So we never know who's going to get the question or what's it going to be. So this comes from Brandon Magnini from Wildwood Park District, Illinois. He says, where would you like to be in the next 5 years? And then what are kind of 3 goals you'd like to accomplish between now and then?
Okay, let me think. In 5 years, that will be like what? 30 something? Okay. I think I would like to be, obviously, not necessarily like a different place, but maybe like a step above like the position I'm in. And not because I don't like my job or the paycheck, just because I think the higher you are, the more decision power you have, and you can make a little bit more of a difference, even though you're not so close to relationships. Like I would like to have a little more say on the decision making.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we do that I wouldn't do that way. And a lot of it is like, I'm just going to do it. Like it's my job, right? Like you make the best out of it. But I think I could make a difference if I had a little more saying in it.
Yeah.
And some goals. You said 3 goals.
Yep.
Okay. I want to do a full day summer camp here because I think we need it and we're just not there yet. We do half day summer camps and we get a lot of feedback that the parents just need a full day one. I would like to have that. I would like to have like a little bit more under my belt that really does make me feel like I did make a difference here. And
start a podcast.
Start a podcast. You know? Be a host. I don't know.
The little seed I'm planting there. Fantastic. So what would be the question you'd like to leave for my next guest?
Does it have to be like that serious?
No, I've actually had some of my earlier questions. I remember they were so funny. Like, what if you were a piece of playground equipment? What would it be and why?
Well, I was thinking something more like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
What if we do something like, if you were to introduce a new sport into like your rec center or your city, whatever, which one would it be? And why?
Oh, I love that. What now? I'm curious. What's your answer to that question?
I think I should do something like, I don't know. We do a lot of sports.
Or it could even be like what program or STEM program or
yeah. I feel like I would do something with like robotics.
Oh yes.
Like I think that would be cool. I don't know anything about that stuff, but I would like to learn. I think it would be cool.
Oh, if you're serious about that, I got a guy up in, where's Michael from? Michael, I'm sorry if I think it's Connecticut. I think he's from the same area that Gabby's from.
Isn't Gabby in Arizona now?
No, not Gabby, Molly.
Oh, okay, Molly's.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have a STEM program that's had like, and they've been running it for maybe 7 or 8 years. They've had like 8 or 9,000 kids come through, and it was just like an empty room in their community center, and they brought in like 3D printing and robotics and science
That's really
experiments.
cool.
And so just like any other programming, they just do all that cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple other cities that do really well on that, and they're actually able to have more engagement to their teenage kids, because that teenage age group is notorious for just getting lost in the shuffle.
Right.
So that's something that's really exciting. And actually, I think they even have a room where they do like gaming and podcasting and media creation. I mean,
I just met a girl that is from Vegas, and she does that in one of like those neighborhoods over there. And she came to our conference, and I have her card. I was like, I really need to reach out to her. Like, that's really cool.
Well, if you ever decide to move the needle on that, let me know and I'll connect you to
I will. I want to.
Yeah. I've got some directors in the country that are just killing it on that front. And that typically is where a lot of Parks and Rec directors or departments kind of struggle. But there are quite a few cities out there that are doing a good job. It's not as many as we'd like to have, but yeah, they're doing.
I would like to know like the cost, like how did they get the money? Because I feel like that will be my biggest barrier, right?
Oh, they got the whole playbook. And that's the great thing about Parks and Rec is that it's a very collaborative sharing community. They will give you the entire cheat sheet playbook. They make it your own. So yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Gaby, thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing your whole journey in YPN. And I can't wait to see where you go from here. I think you're just, you're going to do fantastic in this industry. I can tell your heart's really in it.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, congratulations on everything you've done, and thank you for keeping your community beautiful and thriving. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, and I love what you're doing too. This is really cool. We for sure needed it.
Well, thank you, Gaby. Have a great rest of your week.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so that was another YPN show every Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Wow, I love talking to the young professionals of Parks and Rec. We are definitely in good hands. There are so many talented young professionals and leaders coming up the ranks that I feel like our cities are in good hands. Not that we need to stop getting the word out to other people like Gaby, finding them in college and showcasing what the industry is, because I think like her, you find yourself getting a degree in business and wanting to climb that corporate ladder. But a lot of this new generation really does have a great focus on making a difference in their community and having good quality of life. And to me, as much, sometimes this generation gets a bad rap, but I think in that department, they're ahead of a lot of us. Because at least my generation, we really didn't think about leaving a legacy and making a difference till we were older. And a lot of our best years are behind us. But this younger generation in their 20s, they can come in and really make an impact in their community, and they want to. And they're willing to just do what it takes, travel, get a job in another state and move and just make it happen. And they really thrive in environments where they're nurturing their community and having a huge impact. So, all right. So that's all we have for today. Don't forget, tomorrow we have our Aquatics Life. This is our newest show. And I got a recent update. The great legendary Jonathan Skinner has agreed to do a Friday show on our leadership series. So now our leadership series will have, instead of just 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, which is what I run, he'll pick up a fifth time slot. So that way, 5 days a week, we'll be having the leadership series, and Jonathan's going to help me host that and then help pick up the slack from sometimes when I'm at a convention or something. So he is like, if you don't know who Jonathan Skinner is, look him up. He is a legend. He just recently retired from his job there over in California. And I'm really excited to have him on a team. He's very, very gifted. And I think he's one of like maybe 80 people in the whole state of California in the history of it that have received some like Lifetime Achievement Hall of Fame award. And he received that at CPRS. And so, Jovi, why don't you go ahead and close out with that CPRS promo that we made, because we just got back from that. And you'll actually see Jonathan in there with me. He's been on the show several times, and so super talented, very passionate. I can't think of a better guy to help represent the Parks and Rec industry here on the Daily Parks and Rec show. So big shout out to him. And big shout out to Gaby, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. Really appreciate it. That's all we have. We'll see y'all again here tomorrow. Thanks a lot, guys. Love you. Bye.
It started with a shared purpose, a vision to bring people together, to inspire, to learn, and to lead. And at CPRS Conference 2026, that vision came to life. From every conversation to every connection made, this wasn't just an event, it was a community in motion. Ideas were challenged, perspectives were expanded, and leaders stepped forward, ready to shape the future of parks and recreation. At DPRS Media Network, we had the privilege of capturing it all. The passion, the innovation, the stories that deserve to be seen and heard. Because these moments don't just stay here, they ripple outward, into communities, into programs, into lives. To the organizers, the speakers, the partners, and every single attendee, thank you. For showing up, for sharing your voice, and for being part of something bigger than all of us. This is more than a conference. This is a movement. And DPRS Media Network will continue to tell your story every step of the way. We'll see you at the next one.
Are you a vendor, brand, or service provider ready to connect with the heartbeat of local communities? At DPRS Media Co., we tell the stories shaping parks and recreation across America. Through podcasts, live streams, videos, and newsletters, we reach frontline leaders, city directors, and decision makers every single week. From youth sports and facilities to programming and policy, our audience is your audience. Sponsoring or partnering with DPRS Media Co. puts your brand in front of the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. Launching a new product, growing your presence in public spaces, targeting cities, counties, or departments, DPRS is your trusted media partner. Whether you're in software, turf, aquatics, robotics, smart cities, or special events, partnering with DPRS puts your brand in the story. With commercials, interviews, social campaigns, newsletters, and live shows, we're your media team. Partner with us and grow your impact in the $200 billion parks and rec industry. DPRS Media Co. Stories that move parks and rec forward. Your audience is here. Let's meet them.